the tips and tricks to being a successful winner of the Flathead Classic. Now, this is why we're with you today. We're going to grill and drill this guy and find out what you need to do to take out such an illustrious competition. And of course, it also comes down to persistence, patience, and of course, also the product. And that gives us the lures that we're running as well, mate. What's the plan of attack, buddy?
So for, I guess, today, we got the high tide today, so we're gonna focus, I guess, on some shallow flats. The fish don't really seem like they're in the deep at the moment, so we'll focus on some shallow flats and then some mangrove edges a little bit later.
Cool.
But for the Classic, I'm pretty sure we have a high tide in the morning and then a run out tide for most of the days. So Classic will probably focus on the deep. Hopefully the fish are in the deep by then, and then flick some banks with weed edges on the run out.
Well, I'm excited because, you know, this guy's just a wealth of knowledge, and to, of course, just to talk to Ryan and then showcase to you guys, you don't have to come up and fish the Flathead Classic by any means, but if you are going flathead fishing, it's these little tips that are going to help you, whether it's looking for weed bed or maybe a cockle bank or a drop off or anything like that. And of course, then about the lures, all of that's coming up, mate. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's have a bit of a check on the gear that we're running here. So this is the Raider rod from Shimano. I absolutely love it. This particular rod here is 702, so it's 7 foot 2 inches. It's the 2 to 4 kilo. I find the 1 to 3 kilo a little bit too light because it's too soft on the tip. And when you want to sink that hook into that fish's mouth, it's a little bit too soft and the lure won't push too far into the bone or into the jaw. So a little bit heavier is better. Of course, if you're going heavier jig heads, then you might want to go 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 kilo in the deeper water. The reel, this is the new Shimano Sedona 3000C. It's a fantastic reel, super smooth. It's got the Hagane gearing on it. So generally the top end market of Shimano reels has now been pushed into this. This is the higher end of their lower branding, but still fantastic. I love it. Love the Sedonas, they're affordable and definitely going to do the juice for us today. This is the Plano box. I love the Plano box. And the lure that I'm running here, I've got a variety. I've got pink ones and I've got these greens, which is like the old nuclear chicken. There's the pink one in there. But this is the nuclear chicken sort of color. And it's the 4-inch turbo shrimp. These little legs here just go nuts under the water. It's nice and soft. And I find this lure here is absolutely gorgeous on the fish. They for some reason just want to eat them. I've got here a 1/4 ounce jig head with a 1/0 hook. So you can go to 2/0 if you wanted. Just go through the top of him there, and then where the shell meets the body, if you know what I mean, on a shrimp. Just push it out. It's like jelly, this stuff. Push it on, and there we have it. It's beautiful. Ready to go out into the flathead's mouth. If you want to get the distance, obviously having your lure about a metre from the rod tip is going to really act as a pendulum to get that lure going that farther distance. But if you also want accuracy, you want to keep your lure closer to the rod tip so you can pinpoint where you want to go. Now, because we're casting over a distance as well as wanting to get accuracy, you're going to sort of split the difference and go down about maybe 2 feet, 1.5 feet from the rod tip, and we're going to flick it in closer to the bank there. So we just give it that nice flick in close she goes. Now we've got a ledge here, and what you'll be able to see is under the water there is you've got that ledge and then that mud bank, and then it drops down. So we're just going to give it that nice little flick, and for me, it all comes down to the wrist. And I've told you this 1,000 times in our shows, but I'll keep saying it because it's what I do, is drop it down and just jig back. So what you're imparting here is only a couple of inches of movement, bang, bang, bang. But what happens at the tip is exacerbated tenfold. So little jerks here, back up to the tip. One thing a lot of people do is they use their elbow and their arm and they're jigging like this. Now have a look at that. My wrist is not really moving, but my arm's moving. Now it's ridiculous. You just want to use your wrist if you can. Let the lure sink back down to the deck and wind up the slack as you lower the rod back down. Jig up, wind up the slack, let it sink down. Mate, got a bit of length to it?
Be a scorer.
Mate, everything's a scorer that's a flathead.
A decent.
Oh, decent.
Okay. A over 40.
Oh, righto. Okay. Mate, he's not too bad.
High 40s maybe?
Yeah, okay. What's the deal with the green jig head there, right?
Oh, mate, like I paint them myself, and I've been asked 1,000 times, do they work?
Yeah.
I cannot answer that question, but I'm confident in them, and I think fishing's all about confidence. So
Sure.
I'm going to keep painting them. My theory is, if you've got a natural coloured lure or just something that looks like a bait fish, just adding that extra bit of brightness at the top might give it that extra little bit that they see, for example. So
because your lures have got colours on them, and you try, and sometimes you might use a motor oil, but you'll find the green or pink lures are firing. So if you keep the motor oil and maybe change the jig head colour, it might be enough to bring them in. Okay. So mate, I got to ask you, right? This isn't going to win you the Classic.
No, it's not.
But this is going to be a fish that everyone's going to catch.
Yeah.
What do you do in this situation where there's little ones? Are there bigger ones? Do you stay in that area, or do you move? What's the deal?
No, like if I pull a fish out of an area, even if it is as small as this one,
Yeah.
Especially the time of the Classic when they're spawning,
Yeah.
there's potentially sitting around a big girl. So
Yeah. But if we're looking like over this way here, for example, where those flats are, is that something like you're going to get a lot of these small guys?
Yep.
But just persistence, yeah?
Yeah, correct. Like where there's small ones, there's big ones, and especially Classic time, what I have found is if you find a couple of fish, spot lock, have a few more casts because you might get a patch of 10 in 10 minutes.
That's
so
right, yeah.
it's definitely worth trying a few more, even if the first one is that big.
Yeah, that's okay.
There could be bigger ones around.
Mate, we're going to keep flicking as well,
Yep.
but hey, we're on the board.
On the board.
1 point. Is that what it's worth, or is that 5?
5 points
5
that one.
points. Here we go, fish on. Oh mate, this is not a bad frog. What are we calling this one?
How big?
Yeah, what are you thinking? He's not too bad.
Mid-40s?
Yeah, it's all right. Here he comes. And the beauty is to have a very big net.
Yes, it is.
Just in case.
It makes the fish look very small,
but that's fine.
When you get those big ones, if you have a smaller net, they'll kick out.
And you don't want that to happen.
No.
So there you go. Tip number 1 for you. Get a big net.
Buy a big net.
Get a big net.
Because you're going to catch big fish.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does make your fish like, this is a 90 centimetre fish. It makes it look very small, doesn't it? Is that right?
We can go home now.
Yeah, done. Okay, let's get this lure out of here. So the lure that I'm running here is the turbo shrimp, the turbo prawn. That's a gulp. It's about a 4-inch or something. And I'm using a 1/4 with a 1/0 hook. It's a 1/4 ounce jig head with a 1/0 hook. That's TT. And I'm also running around 16-pound fluorocarbon braid on that. So that's my lure of choice. Those little tails and the legs all wiggle around on the water and they love it. Here's a great tip for you, is when you hold your flathead, if they're not going nuts, rest them straight in your hand.
Yeah.
And then fold down, because there is a really gnarly spike right here, of course, on the sides. You sort of run your thumb down on the edge to hold that first of his dorsal down, otherwise it'll go straight in. And then from there, squeeze tight, thumb down, index finger under his belly, and it'll hold firm.
Yep.
Good hook too, mate.
Yeah, good hook set.
So tell me about that lure you're running there, buddy.
So that's just a little Z-Man 3-inch slim swim.
Yep.
My favourite colour is motor oil, especially with a nice sunny day.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you, buddy. He's back on it again.
Jesus
Here he goes,
Christ,
here he goes,
he's
here he goes.
hungry.
He's on it, he's on it.
He gave you friggin' 4 chances then. He'd be just a scorer, I think.
Same deal. Rest him onto your hand. Index finger, thumb. Same spot where you hooked yours, mate.
Yep.
In, and see you later, buddy. Thanks for that, mate.
There you go.
But you're right there too, Ryan, is, and these are the tips that you've got to understand for everyone back home.
Yeah.
Is on the high tide, pass your lure right up in the shallow. They're going to be right up into that shallow area.
And that's like, I'll explain to a lot of my clients, like there's got to be a why. Like if you're fishing in an area, there has to be a reason why you're there. If you can't answer why am I fishing in this spot, you probably shouldn't be there, you know what I mean? So we're fishing here, you've got the, nice high tide, you've got a bit of coffee rock and weed, and then you got that all of that tree line there.
Yep.
So they're going to push up.
Yeah.
All the bait's going to get pushed in, so they're going to be sitting up nice and shallow.
And now this doesn't. We're at the jumper pin at the moment. So without the jumper pin, obviously take that out of the play. So whether you're down at Nambucca, South Australia, WA, Mackay, anywhere, because flathead are found right around the country.
Yep.
So wherever you are, is look at the same scenario.
Correct.
High tide, get up onto the flats.
Yep.
Catch fish.
Yeah, correct. Time of year dependent. They're not in the deep at the moment, so they're shallow. So
there you have it. A couple little tips to get you underway.
Yeah.
He's at it. He's at
it again. Look.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you see that? He's
oh
on
my
it again.
God.
Did you see that?
Mate, what is this?
That was funny. So this fish here, we actually hooked him off the bottom, and then he let it go because he didn't feel the hook. He just had the plastic, the rubber. And that's the good thing about soft plastics compared to hard bodies, is that soft plastics, when they grab the bait, if they don't feel the metal, they'll come back. And he did. He came right back straight away. You got a hit, mate? Yes. So what happens there when that comes in like that, Ryan? Your lure's all panned.
Yeah, so I guess, well, I obviously missed a fish, but what I'd assume has happened is he's kind of grabbed the back end of it.
Right.
As I've gone to strike, it's just, the hook's not in his mouth, but it's slipped the plastic off because he's got a hold of the end of it. So.
Hence the reason why it's called getting panned.
Panned, yes.
This bank we're fishing here too, by the way, mate. What is it that makes it so attractive for you? Like, what is it that you look at it and go, yep, there's fish on this?
Well, for me, the reason why we stopped was the fact that there was a lot of bait flicking. Like, you've got a few little pockets. So there's one, we've just passed it, where I got that hit, where you've got like a bit of a ledge, a sandy ledge.
Yep.
And that seems to be, I guess, where the bait is holding. But the main thing that I saw here was a lot of bait in close to that bank flicking on the surface. So, you know, surely with a fair bit of bait, there's going to be a couple of predators hopefully having a feed underneath them. And
you look for wildlife, you look for birds, birds diving in the water?
Yeah, definitely. Not so much, it depends. If you're fishing shallow, I look for birds diving, but the main bird I look for is a pelican. Like if there's a pelican cruising around feeding, like actively feeding, you know that there's bait.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Fish on. Oh. Come back and eat it. Come back and eat it. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
Go, Siri, I want my lure. I want my lure back.
I know, I can't get that.
Oh my God, I need that lure. Oh, that's not a bad frog though. Look at him. I'll get him down the back there for you. Here he comes.
That's what we come for.
That's a solid lizard. I'm really disappointed I lost my lure though.
Who gives a crap about the lure?
Dude, I need the lure because that lure catches the fish. Anyway, that's good. Hey, mate, gotta say, we came to a new spot.
Yep.
And your knowledge is paramount because, like, we've come up here and Ryan's gone, I like to look at that bank. It's right on the tide change. There's been bait flickering out of the water. And he goes, I haven't fished this one too much, but I'm going to have a crack at it. And mate, first cast.
That was first cast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. All right, guys, this is a nice 60 centimetre fish. We're just going to let her go. Just a quick tip for how to hold your flathead. There's plenty of ways to hold them, but what I've found is with these two fingers on your left hand, you get in the grooves behind their fins here, and then you just support their belly with your other hand, because when you get those bigger model fish, you really want to look after them. So support the belly, and they'll never spike you because all their spikes are on the top side. So hands underneath, you're going to be sweet. All right, let's let her go.
All right, John, these are a crazy looking lure. How am I going to use this today?
Well, they've been designed to be perfectly weighted and rigged straight out of the packet so that you can tie it on with a loop knot and fish very simply. It's just a slow rolling wind, really easy, and you just stop the lure in its tracks and it'll start to work for the flathead just like they like it. It's a level falling lure, and then you resume your wind nice and slow, moving it less than a metre at a time.
Yep.
They love that action.
What sort of action does the lure have?
It's got a true tail design in it, so that on the fall, just like a fish, when it stops, its tail slowly waves as it falls, and the body stays true and really, really still. And it's that action on the slow stop with the fade down that the big flathead, they love it. Well, these lures have been designed for every fisherman. You know, the weekend warrior, I've designed them heavy enough to be able to throw the distances you need to catch the giant flathead. They're really wary, so you need something that's gonna get away from you and is not gonna spook those flathead. And when it lands, that landing is just like a big mullet. So the profile on this lure when it lands, it appears just like a big mullet, and from there, all it is a really slow retrieve, and I'm only moving it a metre at a time, and then just letting it fade back down to the bottom. And it's that fade as it falls down to the bottom that resembles a dying mullet or an injured garfish or pike. And the giant flathead, they see that big profile, and it's unlike anything else they've seen on the flats, and it's so realistic in its shape and the way that it falls, that that's what does the damage.
While we're glide baiting, make sure that you keep the lure as free as possible to allow its natural movement. To do so, I use a loop knot. With the loop knot, you make sure to make your loop first, pass it through the eye hole, back through the loop, bring it down towards the start of the hook, give it 3 or 4 twists, and then we put it back through the loop and then tighten down. We'll trim off our tag end, and this loop will allow nice freedom and flexibility as the lure works its natural rhythm.
I'll try and just fan fish areas and then move on. And as I'm moving, I'm looking at the flats, I'm looking at the lies, whether it's a stingray lie, but I'm mainly looking for flathead lies in the shallows, up on the bank. And once you can see those, you might see a few smaller ones. Usually there's going to be a big one somewhere close too. So I tend to move around a lot. The big drawing power of this lure means that if you put sort of 20 casts into an area and you don't get hit, it's worth moving on to find those feeding fish.
So another handy tip when you're stalking the flats is not just to look out for flathead themselves, but to look out for other animals. 2 of the big ones for me would have to be bait in the water that's either shimmering or jumping out of the water that's being chased by something, or birds that are on the banks or in the air that are hunting for fish as well. So flathead and the birds and the pelicans and stuff like that are all going to be looking for mullet, and those big flathead are going to be in the same spots that you see that bait. So it's always good to keep that in mind and keep an eye out. So I'll run you through the outfit that I'm using today. Both of these by Shimano. I have a 5 to 10 kilo, 7'6", 2-piece spin rod and a compact 3000. Now it's good to have something a little bit heavier and a little bit longer when you're shore casting to make sure you got enough strength in the rod to handle the larger lures and enough length to give you those really long casts so that you can cover and prospect a whole lot more ground. So a great way to cover a lot of ground is to fan cast. What that means is I'll choose one direction and then I'll slowly change with each cast and cover a very wide area. Once I've covered that, it's pretty simple. Move up another 10 to 15 meters and repeat the process. This will allow you to cover a lot of space and hopefully catch a lot more fish. When prospecting for flathead, what are some good things to look for on the flats?
So if there's water over the flats, you're looking for bait movement and for some current stuff, but when the water's receded and the flats are exposed, you're looking for flathead lies. And we've just found this one. This is a beauty. Take a look at the size of this. This is a big girl flathead, like the ones that we're after today. And you're not just looking to spot the lie, you're looking for the direction that it's lying, and that'll tell you about how it positions itself to feed.
So I can see not 1, but 2, maybe 3, and they're all facing in this direction.
Yeah, so they're going to face into the current. So they're up here when the water's running out. So if you can get onto an area like this at the start of the run out tide, so it needs to be high water, but as soon as it starts to run out, these fish are in this position to feed, and that's when you want to be throwing your lures at them, and you want to bring it in front of them. So from in front, so if you're standing behind, throw out way in front of this edge and bring it past the flathead's face like that. that's when they'll come and grab it.
So cast up current, bring it down in front of the fish.
Yeah, or you can go at the 45 or cross the current line, and that's how I really like to do it, is cross the current line. And so you want a lure that can do that in that high water flow, and that's actually part of the design of these. They can stand that high water flow. That's the time the fish are biting.
I think we've got a nice little dusky here. I've just walked up to this corner here and it was like a nice deep hole. Literally, first wind on the cast, this little guy has absolutely smashed it. A handy tip when picking up flathead is to be very mindful of the barbs on either side of the head. Make sure you pick them up gently like this, and if they kick off, just be sure to watch out for those spines.
Oh, I think it's a beautiful big female, the kind of thing we're after. Woo-hoo! Here she comes, look, I can see her in the shallows here. Huge shallow, water flatty. It's put up a great fight. It was a long cast away from me, so I didn't spook it. It came straight up and grabbed it. Here it is. Have a look at the size of this thing.
Johnny, tell me what just happened.
Grabbed it off the surface. It's the big profile as it lands. It's so realistic. It took it off the surface. There was a massive foam. I saw the dust out there and then the big shadow across the flats. Take a look at her.
So Johnny, this would be a big female, right?
Yeah, all the big flathead are females. Once they get over that sort of 55 to 60 mark, the females grow bigger. And you know, we look after the females. They've got to go back from 70 centimetres and onwards. But boy, they're a great sports fish, mate. And these are the ones you remember. Something this big. They're the ones you never forget, Leroy, aren't they?
Mate, what a weapon. That's incredible. Yeah. Now it's my turn.
Let's go and do it again, mate. This is beautiful stuff. They love these big soft glides. Mate, it's the profile as it lands, and that's what happened. She took her off the surface, and the screaming across the flats. Yeah, they're a stunning fish. Their fin structures are just beautiful. Look at that.
Beautiful fish, mate. Well done.
She's going back in the water, and we'll return this fish for someone else to enjoy.
G'day team, and welcome to our local estuaries. Now these are generally found right around the country, from the far north down to the great south, and of course everywhere in between along the coasts. And generally they'll house the bread and butter fish that we find around this beautiful country of ours, being of course, work it with me, brim, flathead and of course whiting. Today we're targeting flathead. Now I love to use soft plastics and even hard bodies at times, particularly when you're just working those little narrow estuary entrances here where there's a bit of a sand flat in between. And that's what you need your polarized glasses for, because you want to look out there and you can see the blue or the green coloured water, maybe a bit of brown, but then you'll see the lighter shade. And that lighter shade could be the sand patches between the weed or the coffee rock, or in this case, the mangroves and the mud banks. So locating those particular spots, that shallower water, that little bit of difference is going to result in either a hookup or a miss. Yep. Only little fish. This is the new net from Shimano too, by the way. It's got the a rubber netting on the end, so it's not going to get you hooked up. And he comes and out he goes. Now this is something you're going to find. That fish basically was just holding onto the tail. Sometimes flathead can be really flighty, okay? They'll just go for the lightweight. They grab the tail, they'll hold onto it, they won't want to let it go, particularly for the soft plastics these days, as they generally come with a scent on them, so the fish can really feel it and scent it and taste it through their receptors. But still, just a little flatty. We'll let him go. We want something a little bit bigger. But again, we're only just mounting it. And that's the beauty of those Shimano nets being rubber, is that can easily get your hooks out and of course the fish. So the gear I'm running here is quite light. It's a 1 to 3 kilo Zodius Shimano spin rod. Awesome, very light, nice and comfortable. A little Sustain 2500 reel. I've got about 8 pound Power Pro braid, and I'm also running here 6 pound fluorocarbon leader. I like to keep the leader light. It's about 5 foot long. It's just going to give that lure a little bit more freedom to bounce around. So it is light, fingers crossed that flatties won't get it right down and break me off. Fish guy over here is running a squidgy. He's using a black and gold, or like the old Gary glitter in a fish, 80 millimeter. I've got here the Berkeley Gulp. It's a 3" or 8 centimetre. I've gone pearl white with a pink tail. I love it. And that jig head, like I said, it's just going to go in there with a 2/0 hook. Push it right down to about yonder, just so it clips on over. So we want it to look like that, so it's really natural. And you want that hook being straight as well, not curved over, because then the lure will go side on. That's a perfect weighted lure. I believe if we hit those flats over there, we might just come up trumps with a couple of flatties. So what we have here is a lot of erosion where these trees have fallen in. So I'm just going to lay my placky up in the middle of these trees, right in shallow. Now we're right on high tide, probably another 20 minutes to go. And a lot of the flatties will just move up into the shallows there to get any of the crabs or ambush any small bait fish that are moving by. So we want to work those areas, get right into those shallows. Now my twitch and retrieve here is I keep it light, so it's all wrist action, okay? So just twitch, twitch, twitch like that. Twitch, 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 and when you feel the weight on there, just give it a little nudge and hopefully you've got the fish on. Twitch, twitch, twitch. If you see a log in front of your placky like I just saw then, bring your lure over the top of it, drop it down, and you might hook it up like I just did. Bugger. There we go. There you go, one mate.
Yeah, finally. Sort of grab the net there for me. Going around the straight. It's taking it straight down too.
You can see the difference in the colours too, like that's really close to that coloured water below us. Timmy, I'll let you sort that out there, mate, as I move us off the beach. This is a better fish. You know when you hook onto a solid flatty, it's like a snag, basically, and it just wants to go that way and not this way. The idea here is just go nice and steady, grab the net, bring him over, and up she comes. Now that is a nice flathead. Look at that, absolute corker. Now I've hooked onto quite a few in this little section here, and the reason being is that a lot of those logs that I was showing you earlier, and finally this one's stuck with the hook going into his mouth. They've been really tailing it throughout the day today, but just goes to show that you keep persisting and you start using the right lures in the right area. Like there's a lot of prawns moving through this time of the year. They've had a bit of freshwater flush out as well, so there's a lot of movement around. So it just goes to show that fish like this love to eat a bait that is similar to what is found in the area. One thing I love about the plastics is we smear it with this S factor. It's the Shimano stuff. It's absolutely awesome. Works well on plackies and a little bit on the tail as well. Smells good. Do they sit on the weed or they more sit on the sandy?
A bit of both. The flatheads seem to sit where there's lots of sand, like areas of sand. Patches, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Patches of sand, so that then what happens is the bait fish come out of the weed to go across and they ambush them.
Right, okay. Here we go, Brucey.
Very good, Paul.
Mate, he's not a record breaker, but
Ah,
that's a couple of points for the Classic if we're in the
Yes.
Classic.
if he's under 40, he's 5 points. If he's over 40, it could be 41 or 43.
All right, well, let's just chuck him on the brag mat. So this is what you guys do normally,
Yep.
is we get the mat out. We lay that down, yeah?
Yep.
We put old mate fish on top of it. We get the points once we measure him.
Yep.
So he's
He's a 38.
38 centimetre,
Yeah,
yep.
so he's under 40, so he's 5 points in the
5
Classic.
points, yep.
And we call them rats.
Rats.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, 5 points though, and I'm sure that in the last 27 years of history, probably 5 points may separate
Oh,
first,
it
second or
can,
third.
Yeah, yeah. I know, yeah, it can do that.
There we go, he's crossed the surface there, Brucey.
Hey, marlin strike.
Marlin strike, yeah, marlin strike on the flatty.
He's about the same size.
Yeah, he's only a little nibbler.
Yeah. But points in the Classic.
They all add up,
Yeah.
don't they? And he's loving that little gulp. I love these gulp shrimps.
They
These
are good, aren't they?
They are fantastic little flathead lure. Here he comes, Brucey. Mate, landing net's super important when you're catching flathead because you don't want to try and lift them into the boat if they're small.
That's right, this is a good
Or even
size.
they're bigger.
Yeah, he's
nicer
nice
fish.
size.
He's all right, look at that.
He's a big point scorer.
Yeah, he's a good lizard.
Just go over the 40.
There we go, nice.
I reckon he probably might just touch 40.
Oh,
no, 40.
He's kissing over 40.
Oh, 44. It's probably about 48, 50 points.
Nice.
Yeah,
Has
right.
the meter ever been caught in the Classic?
Never.
Never, no way.
No,
Wow.
Not one. The biggest I think is a 98. All catch and release, all caught on lures.
There you go. Beautiful. So there you have it, just working these flats in between the weed, finding those little sand patches, that's where they seem to be hiding. And of course, matching the hatch, using the lure that suits the, I guess, the prey or the bait fish or the yabbies or crayfish, whatever you're fishing for in that area, that's what they're going to be feeding on. Oh! What a beautiful lizard.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey! What a fish.
That's a good fish.
Well done, mate.
Happy with that one?
With that gulp shrimp.
Yep. That's been the killer today, the
It
gulp
is, yeah,
shrimp.
it's like a little lipstick, sort of pink bit on the end and on the tail. They're loving it.
He did that nice bump on the bite, and then I just put some weight on him, got him.
This fish is going to measure just about 49.
49.5.
Yeah,
For
49
me,
and a half.
if it's for me, it'll be a 50.
Yeah, I know that. Just for us out here fishing for half an hour or 45 minutes this morning, is that, we've already got over 100 points with our 4 fish.
That's right.
And we'll keep trying.
It doesn't take that much to mount up.
No, not at all, mate. Well, let's get a happy snap.
Yep, definitely.
There we go. Happy snap it is. You want to hold it because it's your fish.
Okay.
Now, if you want to keep up to date with all things outside, simply head to our social pages and give us a follow. There you'll find tips, our latest Step Outside podcast, fishing segments and recipes.